bye week?
Great.
Miss us?
Every day.
Uh-huh.
Todd, all the quarterbacks you faced in the postseason last year, Breeze to Mahomes, Heineke really seemed at times to give you all the most fits. What were your impressions of him in that game and just continuing to watch him?
He ran it well, and he threw it well, and he made some timely throws. So, I'm just glad we came out with the win.
Todd, in that game, is it fair to assess some part of that as your preparations were for one quarterback and you faced another, or is that not a big part of it?
No, I mean, we know everybody on the roster, and we should have a plan for whoever comes in the game at any position. So he just played a good ball game.
There wasn't a whole lot of tape, though, on Heineke the last time you saw him. So, I mean, do you feel like there are a lot more, or I should say a lot less unknowns this go around, I guess, because he has tape out there?
Well, it's for anybody that comes in the game. Like, we prepare for everybody, and we understand who their backups are and who comes in on the third team. If you're on the roster as a defensive coordinator or any coordinator, it would be foolish not to know who could or who could not come in the ball game. He just played a good ball game.
Now that you had a chance to kind of step back a little bit and kind of evaluate how your guys played through the first half of the season, what are some of the things you liked? What are some of the things you didn't like? What are some of the things you want to change going forward?
Well, like I said before, you like the resilience thing, but for the most part, the communication is picking up and we're getting on the same page. I'm pleased with that. We just got to keep working at it.
We didn't see Richard Sherman the last game. How was he looking physically?
Well, he looks healthy. He's been practicing well right now, so that's good to see.
For a guy like Sean, who's been out, since the beginning of that Week 1 game with that elbow injury, it's a unique injury for a position like that. What are some of the things that you're going to be looking for that'll really help you determine when his readiness will be, especially with such a unique position, too, that he plays, playing inside?
Well, just getting him back in football shape and running around with the guys, obviously understanding the plays. We've tweaked a few things since he's been down, and, again, using the elbow comfortably and him being comfortable using it. He did some things today. Rashard didn't do much, but Sean did.
Does it just feel like normal to have so many pieces at one position in flux and uncertain in terms of just moving forward, not knowing who you might have?
It's not normal at one position, but, during a football year, it is normal to play different guys at different positions. So it's our job as coaches to get them ready. Coach Ross and Coach Rapone's been doing a good job at that.
Coach, do you think that the weather conditions upstate this year is going to be difficult for Floridian guys?
No, I don't think so. We played in some last year, and the new guys we got this year, some of them came from cold places. So, it's not freezing temperatures, so it should be fairly normal at about 50. We'll be fine.
I know that penalties have been a little bit more of an issue this year. Last year, you guys were able to cut down on them a lot after that Chicago game, but looking at just some of the penalties, like it seems like DPI is up. Is that something that will get better when you have more continuity at your positions like cornerback and things like that in your secondary, when you got like the same group of guys and they all are kind of confident, I guess, in the roles they're playing each week? And what do you think is I guess, what do you attribute a lot of those penalties to?
Well, Coach Ahrens preaches it every day. We practice and we work at it every day. It's got to be even more focused. We focus on it all the time. Some of them are going to happen, are inadvertent, but we can cut down on a bunch of those. So that'll be a big focus, especially going in the second half of the year, just like the first half. We just can't have them because we understand that helps us beat ourselves.
Todd, your middle linebackers with Lante and Devin, for them not to have as many splash plays and sacks and takeaways as they had last year, is it fair to say that some of that is that they've just been asked to do more in coverage because you guys have been shorthanded in the secondary spin?
We've tweaked some things, but the plays hasn't really come their way that amounted to the splash plays. As long as they're doing the right plays, that's all we really care about. And if you keep doing the right plays, the splash plays will come.
Posted on Twitter that, and so saying a lot for him with his injury history. That this is one of the most painful things he's ever dealt with, playing with the torn rotator cuff. That he's having difficulty sleeping at night, and he wasn't asking for sympathy or anything like that. He just was being real with people, as he often is. What kinds of things can you do to kind of help him? Because he seems to be adamant about wanting to play through it. And what have you seen out of him? How much is it affecting his play?
Well, he's a warrior. I can't do much to help him. He's got to get treatment, and it's about how much pain you can play with as a player. We never want anybody playing that's injured, but certain warriors can play and do certain things with certain injuries, and his mindset is to go until he can't go anymore, and it's up to us as coaches to make sure we monitor that, to make sure he's doing all the right things when he's in the game, and especially getting treatment off the field. So, we've been monitoring that.
Is he still here daily doing the mental reps?
He's still here every day.
Anything else?
The takeaways are a key part for your game plan for the next game.
They're a big part of every game for us. We try to get the ball to the offense as much as possible. Yeah.